Hey guys, today I'm going to be breaking down the 5 most common mistakes I see from people that do Amazon FBA. So if you're looking to sell on Amazon, you might want to check this video out first. Hey, what's going on everybody? Colin Chorbick here with Smart FBA, and today I just wanted to address 5 common mistakes I see from people that are selling on Amazon FBA and things to look out for. This industry of Amazon is very large sometimes and it can be overwhelming, and there's a lot of different things people do on a day-to-day basis that may be either ruining their margins or quite simply just completely ruining their business and not allowing them to really scale to those types of figures that they want to, guys. So again, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 most common mistakes I see, starting with number 1, and that is simply buying products that are too expensive, not getting the right price on items. So if you're trying to sell an item, obviously you need to get it at a really good rate. Now, if you don't get it at a good rate and you're trying to sell it on Amazon, it's not how you might think it is. Amazon does have their FBA fees, and you need to account for all of these fees prior to purchasing products, because it's not going to quite cut it if you're buying a product and you're thinking that's exactly what you're going to get. It's not quite like that. You got to get a really competitive price to make sure you're addressing all those Amazon fees, those potential long-term storage fees, and all those other fees in the mix, because if you're not, it could really jeopardize your business in the future. And again, that's something you really do want to look out for. So this is actually one of the biggest tips, guys, is know your price, understand what price you're getting products for, and don't go buy a bunch of products if it doesn't make sense to be doing that on Amazon. Okay, the second mistake I see sellers make is they only focus on unrestricted products because they're easier and you don't have to do brand approvals, or you don't have to get them gated in different categories, and it's the easy way of selling on Amazon. Now here's the problem, is because it's easy, more sellers are going to be attracted to that, meaning you're going to get a bunch of people selling on the platform, which allows a lot more competitors in the space. Every space you get involved in, you want as little competitors as possible. That way you can be very competitive on your own and get the best prices on products and, really win those buy boxes and get more sales within your store. Now, if you're only doing unrestricted products, you're going to be competing against so many different people, and again, that's not allowing you to really grow your store to those figures that you want to, again, just because you want to take the easy route and only go for those unrestricted products. Now again, here at Smart FBA, we do get people approved for restricted products, restricted categories, so that's one of the things that really allows us to be able to grow our client stores, is to tap into those restricted brands, again, those restricted categories, and those categories that are very difficult to get access to. Again, because that lowers the amount of competitors, meaning we can then scale those stores higher because there's much less competitors on the marketplace. So again, to wrap things up, you guys do want to make sure that you're taking advantage of all the restricted brands and categories within Amazon. Now that leads me to number 3, and that would be just not buying enough product in general. When you're selling on Amazon, you got to look at it like you're opening up a physical storefront. If you were to open up a Walmart storefront, for example, and only buy one shelf of items, how good do you think that Walmart would actually produce? It would be horrendous. You need hundreds of different types of shelves there to make sure that you're housing as many products as you possibly can. Now, if you're not doing that, again, then you would be just wasting space in the retail world, right? Now, you got to bring that to the online aspect and make sure that when you're looking at things, you got to think to scale. If you're going to sell on Amazon, you got to get a bunch of products in your store. If you don't, that's going to lessen the amount of sales overall, of course. And again, that's what's going to really affect those metrics within your store. So tip number 3 is just to make sure you have an adequate amount of buying power within your store to make sure that you can actually ramp up and get the necessary volume. One thing we tell clients is they should be placing a monthly order, even if they're still waiting for products to sell and things haven't quite turned yet. You should still be upping those inventory loads. It doesn't matter if you still have products that haven't sold. You want to continually add to your inventory flow. That way you have a continuous amount of new products within your store, and you're taking advantage of all the new people that are looking for different types of products within Amazon, and really just pushing out all those active listings within your current store, guys. So one thing I want to do do quick, guys, is if you've gotten value so far from this video, if you guys could do two very quick things. If you could hit that subscribe button for any updates in the future, and really anything that we share here that brings value to a seller on Amazon. And if you guys could also hit that like button, that helps out this video, helps out push more awareness to people. And that's really the focus of this channel, is for people to have a larger understanding of Amazon and how to become a successful seller online, guys. Okay, guys, so tip number 4 is the pricing of the products, okay? Now, if you're not being competitive with your pricing, of course, you're gonna be outbid by all the other sellers online. They're gonna win that buy box, they're gonna get more sales, and that's just how it works, okay? If you're gonna sell on Amazon, you gotta be competitive with your pricing. You can't just expect to be selling things at full retail value and, always converting those sales. You gotta make sure you're being very competitive. Now, there's different softwares that actually help with this type of stuff. One of the main ones that we suggest is using Be Cool. It's a really good software. It reprices products. It really gets the competitive pricing within those items, making sure that sales are converted at the highest amount that we can get them at. And again, it gets the volume nice and high for the stores and just allows for more sales overall, guys. So we do suggest using Be Cool or, another repricer that you may look into, but you do want to make sure you're using software, because doing this stuff manually, guys, just doesn't cut it anymore. You're competing against other sellers that are using software, and again, software will win in the long run, so you got to make sure you're using it. Otherwise, again, you're going to get outbid on different items, and you're not going to convert as many sales as you could as if you were using it. So again, we do suggest using we do suggest keeping really competitive within those product listings, making sure that you are getting those sales in the long run, guys. Tip number 5, vendors not being reliable, okay? So supply chain is also a large issue within this space. You got to make sure that the vendors that you're dealing with, when you're getting products from a distributor, you really do have to make sure that you are getting those types of products that you want within your store. Everything is authentic, everything's coming in on time, and there's a lot of different variables that you have to look into. So it all starts with working with the right types of suppliers and making sure that with those suppliers, they're handling products on time, nothing's ever broken along the way, things are actually sent to you in a good manner, and everything is done in a very smooth transition. So you could do different things. You could test, you could buy a small amount of products within different suppliers, see how things are. A lot of the time, to get really those types of good deals within those suppliers, you do have to place large inventory orders. So it is going to come down to buying power eventually with, again, that can become a concern for some people, because sometimes you need to place a really large order in order to get the necessary pricing that you want, which again leads the wholesale model to be a little bit more difficult sometimes. But again, it is well worth it in the long run. If you do have the capital to do so, I definitely suggest doing that. But again, you always do want to make sure you're testing things out with the suppliers first. You're making sure that everything is as you think it's going to be with that supplier, and nothing is ever, not done in accordance within Amazon's terms and everything, guys. So again, you want to make sure you're testing out your suppliers before placing those larger orders, making sure that everything is smooth and there's never any issues along the way. And also, you want to deal with more suppliers than just one or two. You want an abundance of suppliers, because that then allows for, if one ever goes out of business or goes bankrupt or whatever else have you, these types of things happen within Amazon, you have plenty of different suppliers to choose from, which again allows you to continually grow your store along the way and not have to worry about any supply chain issues in the future, guys. So I hope you guys got value from this video. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. We will be doing more updates in the future regarding Amazon FBA, so if you guys want to stay tuned, and thanks guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.